What's up? This is the Guys Podcast. As promised, we have Tiffany back. Um, last episode, Tiffany joined us and we covered some amazing topics, and I really enjoyed having her on. And as promised, you're going to be seeing a lot of her. So this is another episode with Tiffany, and we're going to have some interesting topics today. So Tiffany hit me up and was like, "Yo, I want to discuss this topic that has been on my mind." So here we are. Tiffany, take it away. And I'm sorry, I got my brother Tariq Costa here. I'm Akhtar Muhammad. And
This nigga forgot about me, boy.
off, off,
This
off,
nigga.
off, sorry.
Nah, you good. I'm here. I'm glad they see me because they wouldn't know.
I'm putting his Derek Jackson shit in the car. I see you.
Yeah. Nah. Hey,
It's a new look for us. It's all right. But
keep the ball rolling.
let's go. So Tiff, let's go. Take it away.
So, hey everyone, how is everyone doing? I'm so glad that you have decided to join us again, and me for the second time. So thank you. I wanted to talk about dating and marrying people with kids and that whole dynamic. It's so many levels to it that I think it's really important for us to discuss it. It's not just about like, do you love that person? Oh, I love you and everything that comes with you. It's a lot easier said than done. There's exes, kids, holidays, boundaries, emotional growth, sacrifice, all of those things you have to think about and consider when you choose to date someone with children. So we're going to talk about maybe the stigmas that are associated with it, the struggles, our personal choices in general. Me having older kids, Mohammed, you said you have a 5-year-old.
Yeah, from a previous marriage, I have a 5-year-old daughter.
And Ty, what's your preference? Do you prefer to stay away from people that have children and whatnot, or are you okay with it? So I think all of these different perspectives are going to make a really good convo tonight.
Okay, I'm with it.
All right, so where do we begin? Do y'all think that there is a stigma in the Black community about or around dating and or marrying people, let's say women with children?
I think that men are waking up now. I think that back in the day, it was sort of like a badge of honor. Men, took on that as something that was challenging and something that made them feel accomplished. I think that at one time it was looked as something honorable. I think that men back in the day who took on single mothers were honored for it. I think that society viewed them as doing something honorable.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the rise of men's talking spaces and certain type of the ways that men think now, I think now men are waking up, and I think that men are thinking twice about taking on a woman with children for something serious, right? I think that now the ideas around it has shifted totally.
What's up, Ty? You got any feedback?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I'll try to make sure yeah, you finish. I don't want to cut nobody off. Yeah, like you said, I don't think the stigma is with Black women. I think that, again, remember we talk about biology. I think that biologically it's a difficult thing to, like, if you remove the philosophy of it, like, first of all, like he said, the there's no more reverence in it in the same way that there used to be. There used to be more commendable, and I think that the women who were bringing these men into their life showed more respect to those men who stepped in. I think that's one thing that's a little different back then, whereas, like, and I think that's because, I don't want to say it like this, but when you don't look at that as a negative, you like it's not a negative. A child is never a negative, but it's not a benefit to a man. So women were more grateful for men stepping into those roles back then. It was like a more understanding, like, I appreciate that you don't necessarily have to do this, but you're doing this. And, you know, there's love and reverence there. That's not the same nowadays. Now, because it's like this idea that kids are a plus or nothing, it's like, well, you're supposed to love my kids. It's like, yes, I can love your kids, but there should be a certain level of respect that you have for someone taking on a responsibility that wasn't theirs to begin with. So I think that changes. That changed, and I also would say that I had a second point that I was starting before that. But the stigma is not on just black women. I think men in general just have a harder time biologically taking care of like someone else's child. It's not until you like put a philosophy behind it, like, oh, that child doesn't deserve this, or I care about that woman. It's like a like you have to put some type of mindset behind it for you to kind of okay it. But at default, it kind of something that is not something men prefer to do at first.
Yeah, I mean, and to
You
piggyback
know,
what Ty said, back in the day, women appreciated a man coming in, taking on a responsibility that wasn't theirs. But nowadays, women are wearing it like a badge of honor. Like you're supposed to, like it's a privilege for you to be in my life with my children.
Right.
So it shifted from, damn, I'm a single mother, I need some type of male leadership in my house for my children. It's hard to raise, especially if the woman has boys. It's hard to raise men not being a man. There's certain things that a woman can't teach a young boy what to do to become a man. And it's hard, for a woman to teach a young lady how she should be treated by a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for a man to come in and show his daughter how she's supposed to be treated. So for a man to come in and take on responsibility, like that's not his, like Tyree said, it was something that was honorable, right? You were respected for that. But nowadays, women they don't look at it as like, oh, he's coming in and doing something that he wasn't responsible for. He should be appreciative to even be in my life with my kids. So I think the whole thought process of that is shifted.
I agree. I think that especially nowadays where women are more established too, they're not looking for that male figure to like step in and raise their kids or be that leader in that household. And men know that. So that could also turn men off, right? From dating someone with kids where it's like, I'm coming into this dynamic and she might be telling me, oh, you can't do this, you can't say that, you can't act this way, and I've seen both sides of it and I think it really depends on the woman. It depends on the man. It depends on the kids' ages too, because some people don't, want to talk to other people that have like younger kids, let's say. Or they might have a point of view of, oh, well, your kids are teenagers, they're too old, they're kind of set in their ways, and I don't want to come into that teenage dynamic. So I've seen both sides of it play out. I just think it's so interesting nowadays where you see more single women staying single as mothers, and whereas, like you said before, people were getting remarried, and like that, blended families were a thing, and it was just like something that you did, and you took on the role of parent or co-parent or whatever that is, and like you really don't see that a lot nowadays.
The thing though, Tiffany, back in the day when a woman was a single mother, her husband died.
Right. Yeah.
Like most of the time when you look at like the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, there were only single mothers because their husband went to war, something happened, and he's no longer here on this earth. Nowadays, you'll see women who are single mothers and their husbands or ex-boyfriends will be good guys. They just don't feel it anymore. They're not happy with that guy. They think that they can do better, so they'll break up. So I think also too, to add to that, as far as why men were more probably accepting of being a stepfather, was because the biological dad wasn't in the picture.
Right.
She was a good woman. She dedicated her life to her family. Her husband died. She can't help that. So now you're coming into a situation where you don't have to like be with a woman that still has a baby father that's alive, that's coming over visiting the kids. That makes it, that adds more, it adds an extra layer to it, right?
Yeah.
It makes things a little tricky, right? So I think back in the day, the reasons why women became single mothers were totally different than why they're becoming single mothers in modern day time.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just gonna say it. There's a great percentage of single mothers that really don't even know the father, right? It's one night stand or a fling, or they weren't in a real relationship, and so mixing that into the equation, it that's why our numbers have gone up too. There's just so many different, teenage pregnancy. I can go down the list of why. What has been your experience, Muhammad? Like, especially, I know that you play a major role in your daughter's life, and you're there. You know what I mean? You are an active, participating father.
So with my story, right? So after my divorce, because I was taking care of my wife fully, like she was a stay-at-home wife and then a stay-at-home mom for a short period of time. We got divorced, so she moved back to the state that she's from, right? And my wife my ex-wife, she's Cuban. She was born in Cuba, came to America when she was around 12, but she's been living in Florida, right? So then after we got divorced, her and my daughter, they moved back. It was a long, drawn-out court experience. A lot of money, very expensive. But I go to get my daughter almost every month, and I FaceTime my daughter every single day. Me and my daughter talk every day on FaceTime. I fly in to get her, right? I don't even leave the airport. I meet her in the airport. I get her and fly back to New York City. She'll stay with me, and then I'll fly her back to Miami. So that's my life when it comes to getting my daughter. I think it's different. I think so. We have to differentiate single moms from single dads. Single moms and single dads are not the same.
No.
I can understand. I think a dad who's single, it's much easier for women to date a man that has a child than it is for a man to date a woman with a child. 9 times out of 10, the child doesn't live with the father. Even if the child does live with the father, men are not going to expect the woman to come in and dedicate resources, finances to that child, right? Yes, I mean, by default, you're going to be spending time with the child, but I think that the father will be less dependent on the woman than the woman will be dependent on the man.
Right. Do you subscribe to the whole single fathers get looked at as like heroes, like you guys are the unicorns, and whereas single mothers tend to get more of like a negative thing, like, oh, your kids are baggage? Or
I think single moms are put on pedestals. I don't think single fathers are looked down upon, but I think single mothers are champions in society. Even if we don't know the story about she became a single mother, it's I think people give single mothers a lot of sympathy. But I think when you're a dad with your child and you're spending time with your child and people see that, I think a lot of women tend to be attracted to that.
Yeah.
How many? I can't even count. Like so many times I'm with my daughter, women start conversations. Oh my god, so sweet, you with your baby girl. So like, I tend to get a lot of positive responses.
Yes.
And yeah, I just think that everything that I've received has been positive. And I also think that there is a stereotype of men, not just black men, but just men in general, not being I can't say all men, but women are expected to be more present, right, than the fathers. Even though if the father's not present, he'll be called a deadbeat, but it's just normalized just to see the kids spend more time with the mom. So I think when a woman sees a man that takes on the responsibility of being a full-time dad or being a present dad, even though he's divorced, or even though the relationship didn't work out, but he's going out of his way making efforts to be in his child's life, I think that women tend to favor that.
Absolutely.
Because then they'll say, damn, if I have a kid with this man, I have a front row seat. I have a front row seat to what kind of father he is because I'm seeing it.
Right.
In comparison to he's a great guy and he says the right things, but when the kid comes, will he be present? Like nothing tells you what you need to know, like witnessing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that all the girls that I've dated and got and were in serious relationships with, they kind of wanted to have children. Yeah, like, I want to have children with you. And I think that's a large part of that. It's not just because of maybe they think I'm responsible or I'm disciplined and living my life a certain kind of way according to them. But I think they see me interact with my child and they see what kind of fallout was, and they witnessed it without me having to like them rely on me just saying it. They're seeing it. So I think that's. I mean, yeah, there's some women that don't want to date single fathers. That's of course right. That's you're gonna have women that just don't want to date with kids.
And it's a preference.
Yeah.
I know for me specifically after my divorce, I knew that like I wanted to date someone or be involved with someone that was a father.
Yeah.
Because there's some commonality there, right? If I was dating possibly a single guy, maybe he wouldn't understand that, like, no, I can't come out tonight, right? My kid has track, or I'm tired for what X, Y, and Z reason, but because of the kids, right? And so I think that for me personally, it made it easier. It made it easier just to be a dating parent. Because it's like, well, if you were with your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend, the responsibilities of a mom, like up front and center. So if I say no, I can't, or my kids take priority, you're not going to be offended or feel some type of way about it. And so that was my preference. But my preference also is like I don't want any more kids, and I've had that mindset for a really long time. Like I don't care who I get with, like I'm done. Like we're not, some of his, some of hers, and some of ours. Like we're not doing that.
Yeah. Tom, what do you think about that?
I have multiple things to say. I hate when I lose my train of thought. I take notes. Well, when I say the first thing was the stigma with single moms versus single dads. That's what you kind of first asked. I would say that for dads, I kind of agree with Muhammad, where it's like,
wait, bro, your phone keeps freezing.
It's freezing.
Yeah, it's been doing it. Like, all right,
is it freezing right now? So it's like for single dads, I don't think that but from certain women there is an attraction there, but otherwise it's not really, to me, maybe I'm wrong, it's not really pedestalized or demonized. Whereas there's a big polarity where you see with moms. There's a group of people who will down, like, yes, they are pedestalized, but there's a group of people who also talk badly about single moms. Mm-hmm. Like you will hear, like there's a big polarity. Like you either got people who say single moms are trying so hard and they're doing so much and they're just doing their best, or there's the guys that are like, or the people who are like, you're doing a disservice to your child and that's selfish and da 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 da. So there's a bigger polarity with that. And so I can see how, it might be a loud minority of people that talk down on single moms, or maybe not, but you do hear it more than you hear about. You never really hear about anyone making fun of a dad for being single, a single dad. Like you'll never hear that. You'll never see a dad like you're a loser or your life is less than or anything like that. And I'm not trying to, but it just seems like that's just the truth. I've never seen a dad like, you are a single dad, you're a loser for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It would be like more if you're a loser if you didn't take care of your kid, but if you just were alone with a kid, it wouldn't be looked at. If you see a single dad on a train, it's not the same as you seeing a mom on a train struggling with kids. It's like, well, where's your husband? Shouldn't he be taking care of you? Like, you get what I'm saying? It's a little bit of a different stigma.
So you think so? I've never heard people talk down on single mothers. I've never heard it. I've heard them being lifted up. Like, oh my gosh, she's doing it herself. She's such a strong woman. She's a boss bitch. She has a job and she has 3 kids. And my mom, even guys who grew up a single parent, my mom raised us on food stamps. My mom raised us. She had to work 3 jobs, and I've never heard anything.
But you can't say that because then there's niggas like us who do whole episodes on whether or not it's selfish to be.
But that's in behind closed doors on certain podcasts. That's like, it's like, certain types of platforms say things like that, but it's very rare. It's
I said it could be a loud minority. It could be a loud minority, but there is people calling it out or whatever.
People call like but you don't really hear it. Like if you walk outside, you never hear that. Like people don't shame single mothers. Like
Yeah, but here's another thing. Sorry.
But as a female, I have seen it, and maybe that's something, you know, when you're in your niche, you can say, or I have more experience hearing people talk bad about single moms, right? Maybe like the circles that you're around, people are more mature and they're more self-aware, and they would never do that because they respect and they honor that position, their mothers in general. But you know, there are some knuckleheads, women and men, that are, oh, you know, she got 3-4 kids by 4 different baby daddies, and you know, what she, you know, she's struggling out here, she got all these kids, and the judgment, I think there's more judgment sometimes at, you know, at face value when it comes to certain single mothers, you know, opposed to fathers, because when society sees single dads, they go, oh, the mom must have died, or the mom must have been so horrible that he got custody. She must be like a drug addict or something if he got full custody of the kid, right? Like it's always got to be like the mom did something horrible. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. Whereas if a woman is a single mother, it's not like, oh, the dad must have died. You know what I mean?
I think when you see single mothers, bashing of the absent father is like the thing. Like father, like deadbeats. You know, father, they're not taking care of their kids. They need to do a better job. I don't really hear like people say, oh, she's a, you know, like bashing. I mean, I mean, yes, like Tyree said, like there's small little spaces online now that you're starting to hear it, because men start to say things like that when the topic of should you date them come up, right? Like now we're talking about should you date a single mother? I'm against it, me personally. I don't think it's. I think it's a crash out mission. I think it's. I'm a stand on that. I don't think men should be dating single mothers. I mean, like just having fun, dating, cool, but taken seriously, I don't think so. I think it doesn't. It's of no benefit.
So, do you apply that to your ex-wife? Like, has she had the opportunity to have any type of successful relationships after your divorce?
I mean, she's not married, right?
Right.
So that's like, I don't care how many successful relationships you have. If you're not married, that means that you're incapable of getting the man that you want to fully commit to. Like,
Okay.
I don't care. It's not a flex. A woman getting attention is not a flex. Men just want to sleep with you, have sex. So getting attention, getting a man to take you out on dates is not a flex. But until a man gets down, until the man that you want gets down on the knee and proposes to you, you're successful. Period.
Right.
And it's hard to be a stepdad to my daughter because I'm there.
Right.
Like,
so that leads to another point. Yeah.
Like it's for a nigga to come behind me because, like, you're gonna have to see my face, bro. Like, my daughter's my daughter.
Right.
Like, feel me? I'm not a deadbeat, so he's gonna. If he can handle that, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's something. I wish her the best. I wish that she does find a good man that's going to protect and provide for her. But that stops with her. Like, my daughter's mine. That's my DNA. And the man that has a masculine mindset that's very, how can I say, that's very dominant in terms of what he creates. That's my child. So no other man's gonna like my daughter will never embody another man's identity over my dead body. My daughter will embody another man's identity. That's my child. Have your own children. Especially me putting in all the work. Like, if I was a deadbeat and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, I would say, damn, you know, like, I have to look in the mirror and say, this man's doing more for my child than me. I'm a sucker. But as much time and effort and attention and energy I put into I was there from day one. I was there when she was born up until now. It's funny, I go through my phone in chronological order, pictures of her, like, her pregnant to like the ultrasound until now.
Right.
And I didn't even plan it like that. It's just crazy. Right? Damn, that's my child. So if a man comes in and taking that responsibility, I think it'll be easier for him, maybe, because he doesn't have to do anything for my child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like a gift and a curse, I guess. I don't know, But I don't advise men to date single moms.
Okay. Because though you don't advise them to date single women, is it
Single
one because a single mother, yes. Is it because of, okay, you might have to deal with the ex or the other parent?
For many different reasons. I don't think a man should ever raise another man's, it's like a saying, why are you playing another man's safe game? Why are you investing your time, attention, resources into something that's not of your DNA? Have your own kids. And then also too, when you put that much time and effort and energy and you invest that much into a kid, you have no legal right over that kid. Right. So now the woman can divorce you or leave you and you have no rights with that child. That's one. Number two is you're doing everything, but you can't discipline that child in a lot of situations. Then if you do discipline that child and that child has a biological dad that's still alive, that's staying present, it's going to be a big issue.
Yeah.
Like no man, and this is not between me and my wife. Like any man that dates my ex-wife or has a whatever, man to man, this has nothing to do with my ex-wife. This is between me and you. You're not ever disciplining my daughter, ever. I mean, yeah, if she's doing something that's of detriment to her health or safety, yes, step in. But as far as a corporal punishment,
yeah, no. Yeah, don't touch my kids. I don't care.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but then also too, it's like it just serves no purpose. And then also you have to look back into that woman's past. What kind of man did she pick that she would be willing to be because raising kids alone is a huge responsibility. Mm-hmm. And why would you alleviate the other person's responsibility just to be on your own? What kind of discernment did you have? What kind of understanding did you have to pick a man and at that time, and how have you matured? And if he didn't abuse you or abandon you, why not go back to him? I say go back to your baby father. Like go back to him. If there's no abuse and there's no abandonment, that means that you can't stick it through even when times are hard. So how do I know you're gonna stick it through when times are hard with me? We don't have kids.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Ty, what do you think?
He said I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said he said a lot of things that I also think, but as someone who has experience on the other side of dating a woman with a child, it's a thankless.
I'm sorry to cut you off, my bro, but right now I forgot Tyrese dating a woman with a child.
How many? Just one?
Just one.
Okay.
But like you said, a lot of that stuff is true. It's a lot easier if he's a deadbeat. I would say that. It's a lot easier if he's a deadbeat and not around because.
Apologize. Todd's situation is even more serious because he's dating a woman with a special needs child.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that adds another dynamic.
Another layer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is fucking. My advice to you, so if you want to weigh it, I would tell you, it's a thankless job. So I would tell you in a sense of you shouldn't do it if you have the choice. I say that, if I'm going to be frank, that one of a man's biggest weakness is caring. So because I care about the woman and things like that, I'm willing to deal with the extra stress. But if you really think about it, you're dealing extra stress. It's more responsibility. It's more pressure. You have less authority. Overall, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. Right. As much as you care about that person, and it's okay to care about people, you have to think about what is this costing you and what do you have to do and invest in, do to maintain that. So it's what I would say is, if you're going to do something like that, I say date the woman and you never mind a child, not in the sense of you don't care about the child, but that's not your responsibility. Just date the woman.
Right.
You date the woman. She can tell you about what's going on. You might be able to offer a little advice here and there, but think about it more like you are uncle or some shit like that. You do it more hands off. Let her deal with that child or whatever it is, and you can give your little man advice here and there, and you can show some love to the kid here and there, but nothing crazy, because at the end of the day, that's an investment you don't get nothing out of.
So it's happens too.
Yeah, and it's okay to be cool. I worked with children as far as in a school setting. So I know how to work with children and understand you still got to go back home, nigga. You don't belong to me. So
Right.
it's like I can show a kid that level of like love where it's like, I fuck with you, but you ain't mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that you ain't mine, but I fuck with you. But that's how you, what I realize is that it's not some, date the woman, not the child. So that situation is between her, that motherfucker, and whatever. You can offer, like I said, advice, ear, or whatever. But what I would tell you is trying to get directly involved is going to be difficult for you because of everything he said and everything that you said and the things that I'm saying. Is like, it's a lot of responsibility. You don't have much authority. It's a lot of stress. And at the end of the day, if she walks away from you, you get nothing out of that. At least if you're investing in your own kid, even if she walks away from you, that's your kid. You did your job. This is like something, it derails you from what you could be doing. As a man, are you ever really done with your tasks in life? Like, are you ever really so finished with what you got going on that you could derail yourself to help another person out so much so that it takes you off of your purpose? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's never a time where you're so like, are you done with, you didn't beat life? So, you know, that's something I had to really teach myself. And like, I'm not saying this to judge anybody or anything, but it's something that you learn. Like, you gotta do it from a hands-off position. I fuck with you, I like you, you're my girl, whatever you want to do. But that child situation, that's you. You gotta figure that out. Now, and like rough, if it's really rough, I might help out here and there because I like you, I fuck with you. But I can't take on that because I don't really have the real authority over that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So if you are going to do it, overall, I don't recommend it. That's like smoking cigarettes or some shit. You don't recommend it, but if you're not gonna listen to me and do it anyway, like I didn't listen to people who told me, I would say there's a way to do it that you don't get so involved that it could potentially hurt you on the back end. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the best way I can tell you to go about it if you're gonna go about it. But if I was advising my son, I'd be like, it's not the easiest thing to do.
So let me play devil's advocate.
Wait, let me just say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Any let's take away being a stepdad. Any job that you have where you have responsibility without authority, it's slavery. That's basically what a stepfather is. Think about it. You have responsibility if shit goes wrong, but I don't have authority to make the decisions on how we should do things so things don't go wrong. Right? I don't have no fucking authority, just responsibility. That's a crash out mission.
Yeah.
That shit is insane. Like Tyree just said, if something happens and my daughter goes left, that's still my daughter. I'm gonna die about that. Like, even if she turns out to be the opposite of what I instilled into her, it's still my daughter.
Right.
Right? That's my blood. That's mine. She came out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Another kid, like, I love all children. I want all, if I see a children on the street, he's doing something wrong, I'm gonna step in.
Yeah.
Like, if I see a kid doing anything, if I can help, I'll mentor, I'll dedicate my time. But I'm doing that from a certain type of place, right? It's not in my home. It's not the child of the woman that I'm married to or in love. I'm dating. It's a different type of dynamic. Like Tyree said, those kids have to go home.
Right.
So it's totally different. But yeah, Tiffany, I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to add that.
So the devil's advocate, Ty, I truly understand because I think I'm the same way too, where I know my lane and my place, and I'm really comfortable there. But if you already know, and this could be a general statement, not necessarily your personal experience, but in general, if a guy gets into a relationship with a single mother, it's the thought of, I am not going to take on the step parent, the fatherly role. I'm going to close certain parts of me off or distance myself. Is it worth really getting into the relationship then?
I would say no.
I
would say
I would say we're saying the same thing. I would just avoid it instead of having to do that.
Because if technically, if you want to be real, if you have to pick and choose how you're doing it, technically it's not, like I said, it's not an advantageous situation. If you gotta hold this part, but yeah, I would say overall no. Like if you really, you add all those extra steps and you gotta, like I said, you gotta hold yourself back here, hold yourself back there. Yeah, I can see why, like if that's too much for you, just don't deal with it. But if you can have a certain, I'm not saying that you have to, but if you're going to do it, there is a detachment you do have to have. I'm not saying that it's
get wet. That's like swimming. That's like saying go swimming and don't get wet. Like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like that's what I'm saying. That's why it is kind of like it can be considered foolish in a lot of ways. Like I said, the one reason why you do it is because you care, but is caring enough to have to deal with all of that? You know what I'm saying? That's the question that every man you're gonna have to ask yourself. Like, and on average, the answer will probably be no, because you can probably get the same things out of that situation with a woman who doesn't have that. And I tell Muhammad this all the time: the man's biggest weakness is that he cares. Like, you know, a lot of things that stop a man in a relationship is that he cares. You know why a lot of men don't cheat? It's not just because of moral things. It's because I care about hurting that woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like a lot, and she can't physically stop you from cheating. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm saying the thing that stops you from cheating is your own morality going, I don't want to hurt this girl.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that stop men is the fact that we care about how you would feel if I do that thing, or I care about this person so much. But if you was to be a cold, calculated, like on your reptilian brain shit, no, that's not the most logical thing. That's not the most calculated, best thing for you.
male animals have other species. They actually kill the kids because a woman can't fully serve you and your purpose when she's serving her own biological children that was there before you. Right? Like women, like female animals, they don't bring their cubs or kittens or any of their children around any male, because when that male is ready to mate, he kills those kids. Because she's offering her time and resources to something that's not my DNA. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah, that's why I say this shit is
like,
my fault.
You about, yo, babe, let's go out on a vacation so we can just have fun and turn up. No, I have to stay with the kids. That's not yours. So time is being taken away from you, dedicated to children that's not yours, but you're taking care of the whole family.
So that actually segues really into the next point about knowing your limits.
Wait, I'm so sorry, Tiff. Tal, you was about to say something?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Go ahead. I already lost it.
Okay.
It's already gone.
And Tal's a good dude. Me and him behind the scenes, like in private, I talk to him. I'm like, yo, bro, like I have my own ideas about it, and me and him, we go at it. And my was just love a woman doesn't mean you have to be with a woman.
Yeah.
Like being stoic and having rational logic is, you're a good friend, but I can't be around you because of your lifestyle, and that's a detriment to where I want to be in my life. You don't have to be with someone just because you love them. You can part ways and say, listen, I love you, I care about you, you're a good person, but you're not for me. Right? So me and him, we go at it. And for him to tell people not to do it, and he's doing it, it's like, that's like a motherfucker smoking a cigarette. Kids don't smoke.
I just said that. I just said it's bad. That's why I said the biggest weakness is your caring. And this is not to say that, like I said, I care about the person. That's the biggest weakness a man has. Is like, you care. It's like, okay, like if I'm being completely logical, and this is why I say sometimes you should date like women, because a woman, I don't believe a woman would even slow herself down in the same way that I would do in that situation. Like if a woman had to choose a better life or slowing herself down to do something for a man, I don't think she would do that. I think that's a man, mostly men who do shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a woman would be like, whoa, I could have this or this. I'm going to leave you behind. Women often leave behind men they care about for a better life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All the time, like men,
because it's objective. It's being objective. It's being real. So like I said, the biggest weakness is caring in that sense. I'm not saying it like to be negative or anything. And you know, but
expendable. Like we're bred to be disposable. Like a man would throw himself in front of a bullet or a train or a car to save a woman that's not even his woman, a woman that he doesn't even fucking know.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? That's how we are. Men, we always sacrifice our happiness and shit for things that don't serve us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's what but that's why you have to be smart about what you're willing to sacrifice for and what you're getting out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He is right about that. It's worth doing all.
So real with yourself.
Something funny, Tiff. Even fathers of biological children, you know what they say now? Fathers are saying, yo, as soon as this motherfucker turns 18, I'm done, because they don't appreciate me. Fathers who are biological fathers see that their families, men are fucking walking away. They're like, I'm gonna do my duty as a father, but I'm not getting thanked for this shit. Not to say that you should do it for thanks, but you're imagine being a father. You instill values, morals, integrity into your daughter so that she doesn't disrespect herself in the public and disrespect her family. She's rebelling, not giving a fuck about the family's reputation. As a father, at some point, you're gonna say, you know what? Fuck you. I did everything that I was supposed to do as a father, and you're still being disrespectful. Because if I put my hands on you, I'm gonna be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of fathers who are biological dads are saying, yo, fuck this family. Like they don't love me, they don't appreciate me.
I would have to say that I hear you. I would tell that man, I need you to go look in the mirror and figure out why your family, why your offspring, okay, feel that way about you or exhibit this type of behavior towards you for you to say that. Because if you're supposed to be the leader at a household and set the tone, something's missing, something's not being done right.
Often happens. A lot of women don't respect the husbands in front of the children. So that gives the children a free ticket to be disrespectful to the husband. If I'm being bad cop and you're being good cop, the good cop is always going to get favored, like a favor, right? As a father, our job is to instill. A father's job is to keep his daughter off the stripper pole and his son out of prison.
Yep.
Right? It's going to be ugly. It's not going to look good sometimes. I have to be the one to say no. And I always tell my ex-wife this. I say, you know what? When you go against me, you're not serving our daughter, right? You're not serving her well, because if something happens, I gotta be the one to go risk my life. Like when when my daughter gets older and I want her dressing modestly and she doesn't, and something comes out of that's negative from her not dressing modestly, who's gonna pull a gun out? Who's gonna go be physical? Me, not you.
Mm-hmm.
If a man puts his hands on her, you're not, as the mother, gonna go fight him. I'm gonna have to risk my freedom. So no one can tell me anything as a father if I'm the one that's gonna have to risk his life for that. The same
Right.
that's telling fathers, no, you're too hard, are you gonna bail them the fuck out when they go to prison? When they go to jail?
Mm-hmm.
In the street, and I gotta do something to risk my freedom as a father for my son or my daughter. No one's going to do that. I'm gonna do that.
Right.
So the person who's willing to put their life on the line when things go wrong should be the one to have the most strongest position in their child's life. Right. So if my daughter hates me, but she turns out to be the best version of herself, I'll take that any day than being my daughter's best friend and her loving me and her being,
streets.
I put too much into her for her to turn out anything other than the best version of her, because she has no fucking excuse. Because whatever she wants, she gets.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, my daughter, she's 5. She calls me and goes, Daddy, I want this done. I don't say, oh, I send your mother money every single month. No, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I bought her an iPad that's programmed so she can only call me, her mom, or her grandmother. That's it. It's monitored. We monitor everything that she does online, right? So she calls me Papa, like 5 years old, Papa. We have conversations directly. Me and my daughter, we have our own beautiful relationship, independent of everyone else. So when she's doing something that her mom allows her to do that I don't agree with, I have a talk with her. And she calls me, oh, Papa, I understand why you don't want me doing this. So I'm putting that in her head now to value yourself, respect yourself, and the things that you don't like me saying to you is only because I love you. And as you get older, you're going to understand it. And I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate and lucky that my daughter at 5 understands that even when I tell her no, it's a sign of love.
Absolutely. And you have to say that until they know what that means, right? Like, I'm doing this because I love you.
Facts. I would never get in between the father that if something goes wrong, he's going to be the one to put this money up to bail him out of jail.
Right.
Like if his daughter gets disrespected, if something happens, like no one can tell me anything. I'm going. No women, like all her aunties, her cousins, her little cousins, they're not going. They're going to say, oh, they're going to look at me and say, like, I'm action.
Right.
So I get what I say. Yeah. But that's on a different tangent. But I'm sorry, Tiffany, you were like going to a different topic. Okay.
So no, that's great. That's great because it's true. And I tell my kids that, like, listen, I don't care who is in and out or around, but I'm ride or die. I'm gonna be there. I'm the one that's bailing you out. You always got to be honest and straight up with me, because if you can't, I can't help you.
Tiffany, imagine this. Say we were brother and sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling your kids, it's okay. You can go out to this party, go hang out and do this and do that. If I'm not the one that's going to cushion the blow of whatever happens from the decision that they make, I have to keep my fucking mouth shut.
Yep. Facts.
Like never say things that you can't back up with.
Back up. Yep.
So with anything that happens, because I could be the best father, and my daughter can listen to me 100%, and something could still happen.
Yeah.
But that's less likely to happen if she's doing the right thing. Things can happen even when you're doing the right thing. But when things happen, they're gonna call me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no authority over your words if you're the one that's going to plan the funeral. If you're the one that's going to come outside with a gun and defend your daughter's life, you're not doing that. So you're putting the money up for medical bills.
Right.
Happens when she gets something, I gotta put my money, my resources, I gotta give my life for that. So I should have the last say. You should have the last say.
Literally.
In his situation, look, with Ty being a stepfather, if it's shown that Tyreek's putting his money up, if that child gets into a situation and Tyreek bails that little girl out of jail, or if something happens where she's disrespecting and Tyreek comes outside and beats the men up who disrespect her, Tyreek moves up in his authority now because he's shown to put his actions where his mouth is.
Right.
And you can't get in between a man that's willing to do that.
Facts.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. But
no, facts.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tiffany, but you were going someplace else.
So I was gonna say that being realistic and knowing your limits. And a lot of times we don't know our limits until we're tested, right? So we could say, oh, I don't have a problem dating somebody with kids or, with the involved co-parent. And then you get into it and you're like, oh shit, what did I just get myself into, right? And so like for me, I'm not built to be a full-time step parent, like role. I'm a teacher. Mm-hmm. I have a teaching degree. I raised my kids amazingly, and I know I did because the outcome speaks for itself. So I can pat myself on the back for that. But I feel like I don't want to take that role on. And it's like I did my job. And I clocked out. I'm retired from that role. Now I feel like I'm in like grandma or auntie mode, right? Mm-hmm. And so I know for me, let's just say, a guy had full custody of their 8-year-old child. I'm not going to get into a serious relationship with him, right? Because I know now an 8-year-old comes with the package. Now, if the guy has an 8-year-old but lives with the mom and the mom is a full-time caregiver, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I say like love is not enough when you have to deal with drama and disrespect, chaos, baggage. And a lot of people are not emotionally or mentally prepared to come into that step role.
Yeah, what you just said just proves Tyreek's point. When women are put in the same position as men, they're not going. It's funny because the common theme is single moms. So it's more men having to face that than women having to. There's more single moms than there are single dads.
Right.
But the moment that women have to be put in the same position that men have to be put in, women will never deal with half of the shit that we take on. Like there was a woman, I forgot her name, but you can research this shit. She did an experiment and she lived her life as a man. She put on male's clothing. They put like a body suit on and everything. After the experiment was over, she committed suicide.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a fact. You can research it because because during that experiment, she was able to see how men are treated. So it's funny, like most women who had to deal with what we deal with as men, we would not. And Tyree always says that shit. Date like women date. Tyree always says that. You have to date like women date. If men dated like women dated, it'll be a different ballgame.
I think too that there's a caveat to where I am mentally right now with that decision. If my kids were younger, mm-hmm. I might be more open to that. I'm already in mom mode, right? So it's just like, okay, you just gonna fall in line type thing, like one more kid. I just know right now with my kids being older and self-sufficient that I would not choose or volunteer to be a full-time step parent.
Gotcha.
To someone younger now. Yeah.
I respect that. No, I respect that. And you have that, you have a right to think like that. So yeah. So as far as this topic goes, did you have something else that you wanted to add, Tiff? Because I know you were saying something else. You asked.
I think that too. I think nowadays people are standoffish because you see so much negativity, like on social media and movies and your friends, where it's like the baby mama is bitter, right? And I hate that term, but for this, you know, we're talking about a specific mindset, right? The baby mama drama thing. You know, I don't want to deal with that. I don't know what that looks like. And for the flip side, right? For a guy, it's just like, oh, the ex was in jail, or he running the street, or you know what, oh, he can't keep a job, so that means now I gotta be Bill Holyfield dad, not just stepdad. And so
That's my fault. Yeah, I'm outside.
yeah, you good.
But also too,
That's like a realistic thing that people are considering now.
yeah. No, I agree. And also too, let's be honest. If you're a single mother and you're looking to get married again, you're gonna have to lower your standards too. Like you're not going to get on the dating market what you could have gotten if you were single without a kid. It's not the same.
I agree with you 1,000%. A guy told me that. A guy said, you got to get an ugly guy. He was like, you need to get a below average dude. He might be a little fat. He might be a little short, right? Like, you know, to whatever. And I was like, nah, you might be on to something there.
Like, yo, the problem I have is that having a kid and being a single mother automatically lowers your value in the dating market.
In the dating market.
In the dating market. And I'm gonna make myself clear. I'm not as a human being, not as a person, not as a woman, but in the dating market, you're not as valuable to men when you have kids than you would be if you were single without kids. But the problem is women don't fucking understand it. They think that they command the same value. Like you're gonna have to like be realistic with yourself and understand you might have to settle for a guy that might have been like your 5th or 6th or 10th fucking choice. Ty, what do you think about that?
About, man, I had so many things to add, but it's like it's so hard to find. It's so hard to, like, you know, when you guys are going back and forth, it's like jumping in is like, is so many things from the beginning I wanted to jump in and say, but you go ahead, keep going, bro. As I remember.
Do you think that women still think that they have the same value in the dating market when they're single moms?
Yeah, but I mean, women are delusional in a lot of ways because men lie to women all the time. So it's like, and the truth is that, and there's always a man willing to pay her price. So even if you tell her that she's not, she's gonna find a man who thinks that she is that. You could tell a woman, like, there used to be a humbleness that single moms had, which made being a stepdad or helping out with the kids a little easier. Like I said, because there was an understanding that, yo, you're doing something for me that is a little more humble to an humbleness to it. So like it was easier for you to take on that role because she would appreciate you more. But it's different now. So, you know, yeah, but I had a lot of shit to add on. It's like being a stepdad is like you said, biologically, on the animal side of things, that's not really what we do. It's more like a philosophy. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why it can be hard to do. Like you have to believe like, oh, kids deserve a father figure, or like, you know, or I don't want to leave this woman I care about. These are all like I said, caring, like philosophy. There was some other shit you said I wanted to comment on. I'm trying to get my shit off because I gotta take notes next time. But yeah, there was a lot of things I was saying that I wanted to piggyback off of. But go ahead, go.
Oh no,
everybody, stop it next to me and shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, but basically, yeah. So I like coming from a man that's actually dating a woman with a child, him telling you it's a thankless job and he doesn't think that men should do it. I mean, it doesn't get more real than that. Like,
no, and I would say this, like, again, I care about the woman. I'm not saying like I don't care about the woman and whether that matters. And yes, you could care about somebody and not be with them. Blah, 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 blah. I get all of that. But yeah, like when you being objective, if I'm being objective and telling someone else, I would say, nigga, that's some hard shit to do, bro. If you could fall in love with a woman that does not have kids, it will be easier for you. Or if you can love a woman who doesn't have kids, it'll be easier for you. Or if you are gonna do some shit like that, nigga, you're gonna have to do it from a hands-off position. You gotta treat that shit like like I said, me working with children, it was a little easier for me to adopt a certain mindset of this ain't really mine, but I'll still show you some love. Like it's like I fuck with you, but you ain't really mine at the end of the day. So like, but that's a detached thing that you don't necessarily. It doesn't benefit you to have to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't benefit you to have to put yourself in that position if you don't want to. But again, for better or for worse, the weakness of caring. If you're in that position already, there's a way to go about it that you don't hurt yourself too much in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I have a lot of respect for your stance, bro, because a lot of times people like to, because they're doing it, they like to champion it or
Justify it or glorify. I'm not gonna glorify it. It's not, that shit ain't easy. It's just that, like I said, like, is when you care. Like, and the caring is not, like I said, it's a weakness and a strength, but it's a weakness to a degree. Because if I was being cold calculated, I'll be like, this shit don't add up. Like, it's not. But when you factor in other things, then you be like, well, I'm not gonna just. It's a weakness, but and that's, but that's just being objective.
yeah.
Because the one thing about myself is that I've learned to be difficult even on myself. I can give harsh opinions or a harsh reality even when I'm talking about myself. So, I'm saying this because, yes, this is like, if I was advising another person, this is not the best thing for you. It's not the easiest thing for you.
Yeah. And I would be remiss not to mention in this particular conversation about how it's really difficult in some of these relationships, because let's say your ex-wife is beholden to you, right? And a new guy coming into that dynamic might feel disrespected because of that, right? And vice versa, where it's like, no, I have a good co-parenting relationship with my ex-husband. We talk everything out, we split things, we share things, like, you know what I mean? It's beautiful. But I will say one of my partner's children's mothers is a very difficult human being. And I've dealt with a lot of difficult people in my life, and she takes the cake. And when you have the other parent, being very manipulative or trying to gain control by using the child as a pawn, it hurts that new relationship so badly. Right? Because it's like, oh, okay, well, she just cussed you out on the phone and you hung up and said, okay, but God forbid I roll my eyes at you, it's a problem. Or, you know what I mean? Oh, well, whenever she asks for money, you're like, okay, whatever you need, because you're afraid that she'll take the kid away from you because she doesn't have control over you. So moving into those type of dynamics with that chaotic partner, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people want to stay away from that.
Yeah, I agree.
And I will say this. I want to add this. It's up to the person who has the children to facilitate the relationship between the two. So if I stepping in and I'm the mom and she has the kid, you make the kid respect me. Yep. You supposed to make it so where this dynamic works out in a way. This is the man that's the man of the house, or this is the woman that's coming in and helping and showing love. You gonna respect her because at the end of the day, this person is doing something or coming and showing you love and doing something that someone who was obligated to do was not doing for you. So it's up to that person who is. And that's another reason why it's a thankless job sometimes at the end, because it's up to the woman or the man who has the child to go, yo, that woman or that man is doing X, Y, Z. You need to respect that person. Now, if it's 2 against 1 and they're on the kid side, it's a losing battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's when it becomes a really losing battle. It's a losing battle no matter how you do it. If you're going to weigh it to the other options of not dealing with that shit. It's like saying, if you could have a car that completely works or a car that kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? You would rather the car that completely works. But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to deal with those type of aspects of it, dealing with the relationships like that, it has to be facilitated by that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, optimally, you won't deal with it at all. But if you're going to deal with it, this is the way you go about doing that thing. That person has to facilitate it. So that's what I wanted to add to that.
Yeah. No, this was a good talk. Tiff, you have any other questions?
No.
Yeah, this was a great topic.
I had shit I wanted to add, but I forget, bro, because I be trying not to cut niggas off, man. But
cut me off.
Nah, it just because we got a cameraman and he be letting me know that shit don't sound good on the playback. So I try to get so much better at like being quiet. It was so many times the judge and be like, oh, well, this and then this and then da 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 da. But it don't matter. It'll come back around as we keep talking about these things. And I also wanted to mention the fucking You see how you were saying with the woman having leverage over the man and how they abuse that leverage with the child and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother topic of like women abuse leverage. When women have leverage over you versus when you have leverage over a woman, it's kind of different. When a woman got a man by the
going through that right now, like it's insane.
You say it again?
I said I'm literally going through that situation right now, and it's insane.
Like when you like I said, when a woman has a leverage over a man that she doesn't like or she feels has wronged her, or she has the ability to get like she has a man by the ball, what she will do with that leverage is evil. You know what I'm saying? A man, like, we can be cold and callous, but for the most part, we are not going to do what women will do with leverage when they have it over you. So it's like that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, this was interesting. You know what I'm saying? This was interesting. This was cool.
Cool. A dip, right?
Huh?
You have to dip, right? We can't go to another topic.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I want to
do. You want to stop it and film something else to keep going?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, let's keep. You know what? We should stop it and film another topic. That might be cool. The one that Todd, the topic that you have is dope. So we'll just add that to the next one.
All right, for sure.
So this concludes the topic about should men date women with children, and should women date men with children? I think this was a good discussion, being so that Tyree's currently in that situation. I have a daughter from a previous marriage, and also too, Tiffany, you have children from a previous marriage as well. So yeah, so I think it was a great topic. Tiffany, you have anything else to add?
No, I would say that dating someone with kids is all about respect, knowing your limits, being intentional and real with yourself. It's really hard, especially nowadays, to have a blended family, and it work the way it's supposed to. So just make sure, do your research before you get
your research. What do you look up for that? What do you look up? How to date us? What's the like? No, it's just it's really, I tell you, it's you right about knowing yourself. It's about knowing yourself, knowing your limit, and stopping at that limit, bro. Like, honestly, you will do a woman a lot more favor if you just tell her, yo, I am not the nigga that can handle this. Like, you just gotta tell her, like, this is my situation. This is the first time I ever dated a woman with a child. So to me, and this is me learning like what this is like, and you start to realize certain things. And if you come to a conclusion like, yo, this ain't for me, nigga, your best bet is to do that as soon as you can, bro. That's what I would tell a lot of men. Like, figure it out, because that shit is rough, and it don't get much easier. It gets easier if she's on your side. But like, if she's on your side and she wants you to be that, and she gives you the respect you deserve as a man doing that, then it's easier. But it still ain't easy. So, pick your poison, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So this concludes it. The Guys Podcast. Tyree, Tiffany, Akhtab, Muhammad. This was a great talking, great episode. Until next time. Yeah.
Peace.